Hello dear friends. This video is about a remedy for arthritis. Now you may or may not have it, but you may know someone, maybe an older person, perhaps family member or friend, who does have arthritis. This is a very debilitating disease. It's the #1 chronic disabling disease in America. And throughout the world it is a major problem for people in old age especially. Even young people can get arthritis, and there are hundreds of different forms of it. It's an autoimmune disease, so-called, because it is the body literally, according to doctors, attacking itself from within. I tend to believe it's a little different than that. However, the approach that is taken is generally to reduce inflammation, and that is a cure. There are many dietary ways you can reduce inflammation. I won't go into that today, but I want to mainly address topical cannabis ointments. I've gotten the most relief from this than anything I've tried, including drugs, Celebrex, those kinds of medications. And I have been using cannabis for a very long time, not knowing that the THC and CBD benefits have been helping me. However, I've reached a point in my life with wear and tear, and I'm 67 years old, and the arthritis that I've inherited from my mother and grandmother, which is very strong in my mother's side of the family, is creating a lot of problems for me today. I have difficulty opening jars, tying my shoes, writing, cursive writing, and that sort of thing. My hands cramp a lot, I have sharp pain, and what I do every day to keep this pain minimal is I apply topical cannabis ointments. So I'm going to show you how I do it. First, we'll start with the Mary's Transdermal Compound. This is a salve. It comes in a jar. It's easy to scoop out. You can put it in the microwave for a few seconds just to warm it up and soften it if you need to. I don't generally do that. So I scoop out here, you can see a good amount, and I'm going to rub into my left hand to start off. So I'm going to work that in really good. Get the salve working around the wrists. For me, the thumb, wrists, and finger themselves, fingers are my main areas of pain, and the tops of my hands hurt a lot sometimes. So I rub some of that ointment in. Now I want to work the right hand, which is my worst hand with the arthritis actually, and I'm going to go ahead and apply this ointment. You can see I'm just rubbing it in, soft. It doesn't have any odor. It doesn't smell like, you know, cannabis or marijuana, if you like that term still. I don't use that, but we call it weed a lot of times, just a very quick, easy term to refer to cannabis, the amazing medicinal plant that was put here on earth millions of years ago by the creator, whoever that is, whatever that is, for us to enjoy and use for our health. So many health benefits, and they put in the THC, which helps the CBDs work in the body. Very important to get the THC. If you take all the THC out, you're not going to benefit as much from the effects of the CBDs. Now here's the arnica oil that I put on next. It's arnica oil. It's also a blend of a few other herbs, and I get this at my Herbs and Art store, but you can find arnica oil almost anywhere. This has also black pepper, birch, marjoram, and wintergreen and grapeseed oil infused. I'm just going to dab a small amount into the palm of my hand because it can get all over the place, you know, oil. And I rub it in, and that starts to lube up real well, and I rub it down into my forearms too, which I've got some nice ink here you can see, but I'm not trying to show that off today. I'm just trying to show you how I work the ointment into my hands. Now I go next to the Chinese formula that I have. This is called Quan Lung, and this is from China, and it's a liniment ointment type thing that you rub in. It's very liquid. It comes out just in little drops, so I pour a little bit of that in my palm of my hand, rub that in too. It gives another analgesic, anti-inflammatory effect. And then I have another one that's you're probably going to have to look for the Chinese symbols on that. I don't see a real name in English on there, but it's a little green fluid that you can find in Chinese herbal stores or Asian markets, Korean markets, that sort of thing probably. And then I dab a little bit of that green ointment on, and it has a nice little scent of wintergreen, mint or something, and it feels really nice. And then the last ointment I rub in is called Dragon Blood Liniment, and this is just a formulation too of many different Chinese herbs, and I won't read them all off, but it has a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and about 12 different Chinese herbs to help inflammation. So this can stain, it's purple, so I just pour a few drops into the palm of my hand, and I want to go ahead and start working that in real quick. And it also has sort of a tingling effect, not strong, but just light. You can feel a little cooling. Now I've got the ointment going good now in my forearms, and I'm going to really work it in here. And you can actually rub it on the bottom of your feet as well, or any other joints that might be hurting. I sometimes put it on my shoulders, my knees, my neck, and my low back, where I have tremendous pain from a traumatic injury many years ago that I will have the rest of my life, that kind of pain. However, you don't have to live with chronic pain and suffer. This ointment applied once a day is all I do. You can probably put it on several times if you needed to, but it can get expensive. The Mary's Medicinal alone costs $50, and that usually lasts me about 3 weeks. The other ones will last a lot longer because you just use a small amount of it each time. But I put a good heaping amount of the Mary's Medicinal cannabis. In fact, sometimes I'll even go back and just add one little final scoop on the really tough areas, which are the base of my thumb, wrist area, my upper hands, and inside the palm even. I get a lot of aching in there. So the arthritis is an insidious disease or ailment. It can cause you a lot of torment and pain and suffering, but it doesn't have to be. I had a mother and a grandmother who both had severe arthritis. They suffered greatly, took a lot of pain medications, and of course they suffered because of the effects and side effects of the medications as well. So this is a more natural herbal way to treat your arthritis pain, or any kind of pain. If you just have a pulled muscle or sore muscles, or from other conditions such as muscular sclerosis, or these types of lupus, these types of autoimmune, so-called autoimmune diseases, you can get benefit from the cannabis ointment and this oil treatment that I'm showing you. So it feels really good for me. It aches, it hurts a little as I rub it in, but it's kind of a good hurt, you might say. It feels like I'm doing myself some good, and I am, because once this is completed, and then I'll wipe it down with a paper towel just to get the excess off, and then wash my hands, the palms. But I want to work it in for, say, 5-10 minutes if you can, and just keep rubbing it in, and it will not get you high. Any of the cannabis that is in these ointments, this Mary's Medicinal, not going to get you high. So if you don't want to get high from the cannabis plant, you're not going to, but you're going to receive the medical benefits of the ointment, the anti-inflammatory effect. So that's my tip for the day on how to cure your aches and pains, whether it's arthritis or some other cause. If it's neuromuscular and it's an inflammation, this is the kind of thing that's going to give you some relief. I wouldn't, Bengay and those kind of things, they have a lot of chemicals in them. They may give you some relief too, but we're going to find, I think, a lot better results from these products that I just showed you today. So good luck out there. Happy trails. Be well.